photos started making the rounds online late Friday night. Khloé Kardashian and Scott Disick together at a private Calabasas event, looking way too comfortable for two people who have spent years insisting it's just family. And this time, the internet didn't simply clock it. It imploded. It began with a handful of grainy shots snapped by someone inside a small, members-only restaurant. Nothing staged, no red carpet, just a candid moment that instantly became a headline. Scott leaned in close like he was telling Khloé something only she was meant to hear. Khloé laughed, her hand resting on his arm, eyes locked in. The kind of moment that could be totally harmless. Or exactly the kind of moment people have been waiting to catch. Within hours, the images were everywhere: X, TikTok, Reddit, captioned with variations of, "Here we go again, Kourtney is not going to like this." Fan pages started doing what they do best: frame-by-frame analysis, body language, distance, touch, timing. It wasn't explicit, but it was undeniably intimate. And when the history is this messy, intimate is all it takes to light the entire timeline on fire. And no, this isn't the first time Scott and Khloé have been accused of crossing the line. Their dynamic has always attracted attention. Vacations, dinners, private jokes, emotional scenes on the show, that weirdly playful chemistry fans either call sweet or suspicious. But this time hit different. Because the family literally spent months trying to recover from the last blow-up. When Kourtney broke down on camera and admitted that seeing her sister and her ex so emotionally close felt like someone was reopening a chapter she fought hard to shut. And now, with these new photos floating around, it feels like that chapter just got ripped back open with zero warning. One alleged source told a gossip outlet that Khloé has always been protective of Scott, but the timing couldn't be worse. Kourtney is still sensitive about it, and the optics, brutal. The second those images hit the feed, the comment sections went feral. Not again, does Khloé ever learn? They've always had chemistry, and it's getting too weird. Kourtney is going to post a quote any second. And right on cue, TikTok editors went to work. Dramatic slow-motion montages of old Scott and Khloé scenes blended with Kourtney's emotional confessionals. Audio overlays like Kill Bill and Traitor turned the whole thing into a cinematic heartbreak series. Within 12 hours, #Scott and Khloé was trending worldwide. Some fans defended it, saying it's simply friendship, family bonds, loyalty. But a large portion of the internet wasn't buying that explanation anymore. One comment summed up the vibe perfectly. "I get being close, but if my ex and my sister were acting like that, I'd lose my mind." By Saturday morning, insiders claimed Kourtney had already seen the photos, and her reaction was exactly what everyone expected. Not public screaming, not a messy rant. Just that Kardashian-style rage, wrapped in calm. She didn't post a statement. She didn't confront anyone publicly. She didn't even jump into the comments. She went quiet. And in Kardashian language, silence is never neutral. Silence is a message. A few hours later, she posted a quote on her Instagram story. "You can forgive people and still never trust them the same again." No names, no explanation, no context. But everyone understood exactly who it was aimed at. And just like that, the calm evaporated. The wound was open again. And for Kourtney, this time didn't feel like sadness or confusion. It felt like anger. Because after every boundary she's set, every conversation she's had, every emotional bruise she's endured, the same pattern keeps resurfacing. And that's the part that makes this situation so explosive. Because Khloé and Scott have never been a simple dynamic. It's always hovered in that uncomfortable zone between sweet and strange. What started as sarcastic jokes turned into something deeper: emotional reliance, loyalty, and a bond that has survived almost every collapse in this family. When Scott first entered the Kardashian world in the early 2000s, Khloé couldn't stand him. She called him toxic, manipulative, and wrong for Kourtney. She was the loudest critic. But over the years, something shifted. Khloé witnessed Scott unravel. Addiction struggles, grief, loss, public humiliation, private spirals. She watched him break and rebuild himself repeatedly. And in that chaos, they formed a weird kind of closeness, the kind that happens when two people keep showing up for each other when everyone else backs away. Scott even said on the show that Khloé was there when nobody else was, that she was his person, his best friend. Fans never forgot that. And as the years went on, the best friend energy became the most debated relationship in the Kardashian universe. They joked like siblings. They teased. They flirted maybe harmlessly, depending on who you ask. But sometimes the tone was just too charged, too familiar, too couple-coded. Even when Kourtney tried to act unbothered, fans always noticed her face, the eyes that said what the words wouldn't. After Kourtney's emotional breakdown last year, most people assumed the message finally landed. Khloé promised she would respect boundaries. Scott promised he would pull back. Kourtney finally seemed like she was finding peace. New marriage, new baby, new era, less chaos. Until now. Because these photos don't read like a one-time slip. They read like a loop. A cycle that keeps repeating no matter how clearly Kourtney draws the line. And according to one insider, Kourtney isn't convinced anything romantic is happening. The real pain is the emotional tone, the comfort level, the closeness, the familiarity that feels like reliving a life she escaped. To Kourtney, it's not jealousy. It's disrespect. It's that sinking feeling that the people closest to you still don't fully care how much something drains you, triggers you, pulls you backward. What makes it worse is that everyone's lives are different now. Kourtney is a wife, a mother, living in her peace era, distanced from the constant family circus. Khloé is navigating her own heartbreak, trying to rebuild stability, trying to find safe ground. Scott is still stuck in the in-between, half inside the family, half outside, never fully moving on, never fully leaving. So when those photos dropped, it didn't just feel like bad timing. It felt like proof the family never actually healed. By Sunday morning, every major outlet jumped in. TMZ, Page 6, Daily Mail, entertainment blogs, each running the same angle. Khloé and Scott spark controversy again. How does Kourtney feel? But behind those headlines was a more personal truth. Kourtney was wondering. She was done. Another source claimed she felt betrayed, not because she thinks they're secretly dating, but because she's tired of being the only person who takes her boundaries seriously. And this time, it isn't tears. It's detachment. Now let's talk about why those pictures mattered so much. Because on paper, they were just dim, grainy restaurant shots. Alone, they mean nothing. But when you put Khloé Kardashian and Scott Disick in the same frame with that kind of body language, it means everything. The first shot showed Scott leaning in close, whispering in her ear. Khloé laughing, his hand on the back of her chair. It looked intimate, not necessarily romantic, but definitely too close for comfort. By the time it hit Reddit, it had tens of thousands of upvotes and hundreds of theories. The second photo didn't help. Khloé's hand on Scott's arm, head tilted while she laughed. Not posed, natural, comfortable, familiar. And fans weren't interpreting it as a one-off because they've seen this exact vibe before, over and over, on camera, off camera, in subtle moments the show never fully addressed. Then came the image that sealed the scandal. Khloé and Scott walking out together long after most people had left, side by side like a unit. And the way Scott looked at her while opening the car door. Fans said, that wasn't the look you give your sister. By Saturday morning, TikTok detectives were in full forensic mode. Outfit matching, background comparisons, restaurant identification, timeline tracking. People claimed it was the same location where Scott once took an ex years ago. Others argued Khloé's outfit matched a recent shoot, meaning it was a new event. The theories spread faster than any PR team could keep up with. And what made it even louder? Nobody said a word. No Khloé response, no Scott denial, no Kourtney statement. But Kardashian watchers know this rule. When there's silence, there's strategy. Because quiet doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something is happening off camera, and it's building. One reporter claimed Kris Jenner's team was scrambling to contain it before it bleeds into the next episode cycle. But here's the real problem. This isn't a PR issue. It's emotional history. It's a wound that doesn't close when you slap a headline on it. When Kourtney saw the photos, she didn't explode. She didn't do the old Kourtney routine, fighting, crying, demanding explanations. She sat there scrolling, rewatching, reliving. And according to insiders, she said one sentence that hit like a punch. Of course. Not shocked, not surprised. Just disappointed. Because she's been here before. Then she posted quietly, strategically. A low candle photo and a message about how you can't heal where you were broken. No tags, no names. But everyone understood the subtext. That post wasn't just for Scott. It was for Khloé. And allegedly, when Khloé saw it, she panicked. Sources claim she texted Kourtney immediately. No emojis, no PR tone, just raw. I'm sorry if this hurt you. It wasn't like that. Please don't think I'd disrespect you. Kourtney read it and didn't respond. Not to punish her, but because she said it all before. The boundaries, the exhaustion, the emotional line that keeps getting crossed. This time, her silence was the answer. And while all of this was unfolding, Travis Barker reportedly tried to keep her grounded, reminding her she's outgrown this cycle, that she doesn't owe anyone her peace, that boundaries aren't selfish. They're survival. By Sunday, Kris was reportedly in crisis mode, trying to prevent this from becoming another season-long Kourtney versus Khloé disaster. But the truth is, it already is. Because once Kourtney gets quiet, the fans get louder. And when the fans get louder, the media follows. This time, Kourtney's anger isn't emotional. It's precise. It's detachment. She's not chasing closure anymore. She's choosing distance. And that's what makes this moment feel different. Because when a person like Kourtney stops explaining herself,